What's up, guys? Today I'm here with my family and we're going to be talking about our epic Stein moments. We have each prepared a list ranging from 4 to 15. So yeah, we're just going to go through and read our moments and talk about all the situations.
Mind you, these are moments that like somebody will bring something up and then we all go, oh, that's right.
But like it's not going to make sense to anybody else probably.
I have mine written down in a little booklet because I'm using my phone to record. We can just go in a line. You can start first.
Okay, so there was this one time that Zoe was like 3 or 4, probably 4. We were on vacation and she got really sick and she slept for like 24 hours in a row. Meanwhile, we ordered pizza in the room. Maybe you guys went out and did like s'mores in the campfire or something. I can't remember. So we're staying in this really nice hotel and she's just this teensy tiny little thing and she's passed out, sweaty. She wakes up out of nowhere. She goes, wait, is that John Roscoe in disguise?
Brian Orosco.
Brian Orosco in disguise. And then she falls back asleep. And then she sleeps for like another whole 24 hours after that. And so we all talk about that. Anytime we want to make fun of Zoe, we just say, wait, is that Brian Roscoe in disguise?
And probably no one even knows who Brian Orosco is.
Isn't he from like Jump City, Seattle or something?
He was like
Or
a
like Ninja Warrior?
parkour or something.
Yeah.
Now this... Medic! Levi takes a big fall. It's a game of inches, and you miss that spot, and before you know it, you're on the ground.
My first one is the time that our kitchen was getting redone and we couldn't use it and so we could only use a Bunsen burner to make dinner.
That's a good one. That was a very interesting time of
It was
our
a very
life.
interesting time.
It was like 2 months where we had to use
It
that
was a
stupid
long
little
time.
thing, and it took like an hour to boil water.
And we did dishes in the tub, I want to say.
dishes in the tub. Yeah.
So fun. Okay, well, my first one is, okay, so I'd say a few months ago, maybe more. It's something that I would like to call the barbecue incident. The barbecue sauce incident. So what happened was someone had not left the barbecue sauce lid on the bottle, and then Dad.
It was on, but it was loose.
Yes, it was loose. And then Dad went to shake it, and it went everywhere, including on him, on me, on our white kitchen,
Yes.
and then we had to clean it up.
Yeah, it was a mess. Holy
And
cow.
then he was silent with anger.
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating when you pick up your barbecue sauce to shake it, get it all, make sure it's all the right consistency, and it just explodes. Oh god. All right, so this one was we were on a trip. We were going to Florida. We're flying down to Florida, but I think we were supposed to land in Dallas or something. I'm not really sure, but there was a tornado in Dallas. So they said, oh, hey, instead of landing you here, we're going to bring you up to like Oklahoma or somewhere. I don't remember where they brought us. Anyway, so we ended up there. We were there for hours. They told us nothing. I was on the phone for a very long time with the airlines trying to get a hold of anybody to tell us anything. And I think I was on hold for about an hour and they hung up on me. And so I was pretty upset. So I was like, F! My bad. So Zoe, who was probably 5 tops, I don't know how old she was, maybe 5. I leave and she says to her mother, Mommy, what's F? So that was when she was first introduced to swear words. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yep, I did not know where you were going with that at first, but then I got it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to remember if this is the same trip. We finally ended up in Orlando. We're at Universal Studios waiting to go on some like ride, and there's a lady in the front, a cast member, and she's asking the audience for people to say like to fill these roles in this quote unquote movie game.
There were
that she
probably
was about to
100
do.
people in there, at least a couple hundred people.
Yeah, it was a full audience just sitting in the waiting room waiting to go in. And so she's calling out different things like, oh, I need a young little girl. And so she picks out somebody, okay, you be that person. Oh, I need a motherly type. Okay, yeah, she picks out this person out of the crowd. Then she's like, I need this, I don't even know.
Something
Like
like
a superhero?
big strong man type of a
I
role.
need a big, strong man role. And no one was really saying anything. Out of nowhere, I hear, you must mean me. And it was like slow motion. And it was like,
Crickets.
crickets. The whole world stopped. All of us in slow motion were like, what was that? And it was Casey volunteering for this role in this movie. It was crazy because we were not expecting him to do that. And the lady was just picking out people before, but then Casey just screamed, you must mean me. And he got the role.
And I feel like she was so taken aback.
She was
that
taken
someone
aback.
like volunteered for it.
Yeah.
She was even cricket. She was also like writing down.
Yeah, she stopped. And she's like, I do mean you! But it took her a good 10 seconds to get through that.
Okay, my next one is the time that we went to Europe, summer of 2018, probably.
Yeah.
And our first day there, none of us could figure out how to even pronounce the name of the place that we were in. So that happened, and then for the rest of the day, I just napped everywhere. Restaurants,
Trains.
That's true, we got pictures.
Airport.
You were literally asleep every single place we were.
literally everywhere.
Okay, well, this is good because I have a moment from the same trip. However, it's from when we were in Santorini, Greece, and we were like walking like across, like there were all the buildings and stuff, and then we had to get down. So you could go down like the gondola, but there's a really long line for that. So instead, there's this long staircase that went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So we ended up just walking down that. But the thing was, there were like so many donkeys going through. So we got like ran over by donkeys, and it was crazy. And just, by the way, I did name this incident Running with the Donkeys.
Oh, that's a good one.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, those donkeys are scary.
They were.
We had to like jump up on the walls, right?
Yeah.
like,
And
Not
some
get
people were
trampled.
riding the donkeys, but that sounds more dangerous.
Alright, so one time I was riding my bike, I got hit by a car. I ended up in an ambulance, and they asked me a bunch of information, including my phone number, and so they called my house. And my daughter, who was about 8 at the time, probably,
That was less than that.
or maybe less,
5.
maybe 5, she answered the phone and was apparently giving the police officer some lip or something, and so the police officer...
Not even.
Well,
I was trying to be
but
the sweetest.
She took
thing.
it, the police officer lady took it that way, and she said, "Little girl, this is the police."
Let it be known, I was like, Stein resident, Sadie speaking.
Apparently she didn't think that was what was happening.
And the police officer was like, who is this? And I was like, and she's like, where's your mom? And I was like, she's in the bathroom, can I take a message? Like, that's all I said.
Okay, so one time we were out at dinner and we had tickets to go to this Christmas extravaganza. We decided to go to dinner right before we had plenty of time. We had plenty of time to go to dinner, but for some reason this restaurant took forever. Forever. And so it was just a weird situation, like they were having a really off night in the restaurant or something. I don't know what was going on. So I swear they all got their food and they're eating, and we're like, the clock is ticking down. We're like, we have to get ready to go to our show. We have to get our food. We have to eat really fast. So they start eating. Finally, my steak comes, and it's the most disgusting steak you've ever seen in your entire life. It's all like gristly and fatty, and like you can see just tendons running all through it, and it was just like really chewy, and it was disgusting. I hated it. I was so mad. So we got out of there, fast as we could. And we made our show. We were fine. But the urban legend that has been made up from that night was that I was so mad. I took my steak, I threw it across the room, slapped some guy in his head, and just slithered down the side of his face.
His toupee.
Oh, his toupee. Yeah, that's the urban legend that I made up from that dinner.
That's just such a good one. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. And so now we always say, like, don't make me throw my steak at you. I'll throw my steak across the room and hit a man in his toupee.
Okay, there was this one time we were on, I believe it was a Disney cruise, and one of our stops was in Jamaica. And we got to do a lot of really cool things, including riding bobsleds. Too, of course.
Oh!
Which is super fun. Had a fantastic time. Got to the bottom, found out that we all went like super, like, to preface, you can control the speed of your bobsled, excuse me.
But they go really fast.
They can if you want, but you can put the brake on if you felt like it. So we got to the bottom. Come to find out, we all raced down, and Dad's just over there talking to the gardeners. How's your day going?
He's riding his brake the whole day, or the whole way down, and he talks to the gardeners. Oh, hey, what you doing? What you doing?
It looks really nice what you're doing. I like it a lot.
And we didn't even see the gardeners. They were like just like a blur as we went by, like.
Oh my gosh. And then to branch off my own story, we also went on this waterfall, and in order to go on the waterfall, it was slippery and all that, so you had to hold hands with everybody next to you.
You were climbing up the waterfall. That's what we were doing.
Right. Yes. So you're holding on to the people next to you. Mom's like not about that. Just like walking up by yourself, I feel like.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna hold hands.
I feel like I had to hold hands with some like weird guy.
Probably. But Dad's holding hands with some little granny, and didn't you have to like pull her up
I
the waterfall?
indeed had to pull her up. At one point, she fell, and I'm just carrying her. I lifted her right up, stick her on the thing next to me.
While her husband watched.
Yeah, her husband didn't do anything. He just...
Okay, so my next moment, I think maybe you might be able to tell it a little bit better than me. However, it was last year, maybe, and we were in Disney, and I believe we were like going back to the park at like nighttime.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. And we just really needed to ride the Slinky Dog Dash ride. So we were kind of in a rush, like the park was gonna close soon. So all of a sudden, Mom just starts running to the ride to save us a spot.
And she's not a runner.
And apparently it was like your best Disney moment ever.
It was my absolutely best Disney moment ever. All the lights were on the main street there, the Christmas music was playing, and I'm just running down the street like, this is so cool, I'm loving it.
Meanwhile, Zoe and I are just meandering. We're just kind of making our way there, but luckily we had a spot saved for us.
Yes, I got us a great spot in line before it ended. That was cool. Okay, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought you were gonna say we were walking out of the park. It could have been that day or maybe another day, I don't know. But I had on this dumb t-shirt that says naps and snacks. The cast member was like manning the booth or something. He goes, oh, I like naps and snacks too. And then I was, of course, wearing like a princess Mickey ears. And then he said something like,
He said, I like your ears, princess.
Yeah.
yeah, I like your ears, princess. And then he goes, I'm not talking to you. He was talking to Casey.
I wasn't wearing ears. To be clear, I don't know what that was all about. All right, let's see if I got any more on my list here. I'm running out of lists.
I just saw it.
Okay, fine. So one time Zoe and her friends spent the night at our house.
This was like years ago.
Yeah, you were probably 12.
Yeah.
Probably about 12. And I don't remember what the situation was, but I felt compelled because we had some at our house to say to all the girls, Does anybody need any raspberry leaf tea, which is supposed to help with period cramps?
You just felt compelled to say it. Like, what?
I think
Totally
like
out
somebody
of
said
random.
something or something, but I was like, we have this.
And us, like, 12-year-olds were probably, like, so confused.
It's like 5 of them, and they were like, because you kept going on about, okay, so we have this tea, it's really, really good for period cramps.
They must have been talking about it. I don't think I would have just.
having your period.
I don't think
you're
I would have
probably
just brought it up like out of the blue. I don't,
As
think
if you
I don't
have
remember the
experience in this
situation,
field.
but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have just brought it up out of the blue. So they must have been talking about periods or something. The subject must have come up or I wouldn't have mentioned it. That's
You did though.
I know, I definitely said it, but I'm like, I feel like they must have been talking about it or somebody was, and that's why I thought.
Maybe.
I don't know, but
Okay, there was this time, it was Easter, and the girls were probably like 4 and 9, maybe. I don't know. But they're doing their cute little Easter egg hunt in the morning, getting their eggs and getting their little candies and stuff or whatever, gathering all their little goodies. And so then we go back to the table, and I'm videoing it. We go back to the table, and they're looking through their baskets and kind of showing me what they got. And then Zoey pulls an egg out. Was it an egg?
Yeah.
An egg out of her bag, and she's like, Z.
Because it had, like, a Z initial on it, I think.
Yeah, and she said, Z. Who's this for? Or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, I only remember this because it was on, like, the home videos, but I was like, Z for Zoey. I forgot my name.
Yeah, it was so cute.
And for some reason I had an accent as a kid. I don't know why.
Zoey. I forgot my name.
Okay, there was this one time, literally probably the night before I left for college, and I was laying in my bed, and I yelled through the door, Zoey, come in here. And so she runs in, and I was like, hey, you want to do me a favor? And she was like, no, not really. And I was like, okay, but this is the last time you're going to get to do a favor for me because, like, I'm leaving for college, and so you're going to want to, probably. She got me water.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah, you just insisted that I needed to get you water because I couldn't do any more favors for you.
Oh.
I specifically wrote in my notes because it would be the last time in a while that I would get to boss her around.
So this was right as we were, like, moving to Texas, and we were staying at my grandparents' house, and then we were leaving and we went to the airport, and it was like a small airport, I think, and we figured, like, oh, since it's small, like, we won't need to be there, like, that far in advance. But turns out we were wrong because we missed the flight and then had to stay there for, like, how many hours?
10.
actually, to be clear, we were there before the flight left, but you have to be there, it was like 45 minutes or 40 minutes or some kind of FAA regulation, and we were there like 35 minutes before it left. We could see the people still boarding.
They hadn't even started.
They
boarding.
hadn't even started boarding, but it's such a small airport that we were already past the window, and so, carry on.
Oh, yeah, and then I guess we went to breakfast at some place nearby, and there was this weird guy, like, offering that we could go to his house and swim in his pool.
With his
Oh,
kids,
that's
though,
so
right?
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pass on that one. But Mom and Pop came and picked us up, right? We had, like, lunch somewhere.
Mhm.
We got
Really?
ice cream.
Down by
It was
the
like
river.
a farmer's market kind of a
Yeah.
situation.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Maybe.
Yeah, they came and saved us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. That was
Shout
really
out.
nice.
Okay, so then that brings me to my next story. Sadie's high school graduation. We're sitting in the Everett Arena, whatever it is, filled with hundreds and hundreds of people. It's us, you're obviously with your class, us 3, Ma'am and Pop, and then Deb goes, I think I know that lady in front of us. And we're like, no, no, you don't. Like, it's just filled with all kinds of people, there's no way. And so Ma'am sits back in her chair, and she goes, Dolly! And there's hundreds of people in this arena, so it's really, really loud. And so she just sits back. Dolly. And of course, Zoe and I are like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? And then so she gets louder because Dolly doesn't hear. Dolly! Oh, Dolly! And then she taps her, Dolly! And the lady turns around, oh, hi, Debbie. She really knew her.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
One time, back in our Snohomish house, I don't remember what the situation was. I just remember hearing ping, and it was the sound of some peanut butter cup hitting Dad in the face.
That's on mine. That's on my list.
Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah, it was something about he was sitting in the chair and I got up and I said, oh, hey, does anyone want a peanut butter cup? And he said, sure. So he turns his head. I don't know why, but for some reason I threw it
Really
as
hard.
hard as I could right to him. And it bounced off the side of his head and I heard, ow! And then it ricocheted and then it hit the
Fireplace.
the
right?
fireplace
Yeah.
and just left a big skid mark on the fireplace.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things about this. First of all,
It was so
the
weird.
peanut butter cups are not like those the big ones. So don't think those would hurt as much or fly as hard. They're these little dense hard ones. They're like
The
little,
ones from Trader Joe's.
from Trader Joe's. Yeah, there's little dense hard ones. I think she threw it kind of like a fastball. So it bounced right off the side of my head, and then hit the fireplace, which by the way was about 15 feet away from me. So you gotta think about the velocity
You
that
were
was
like
on that
20
thing.
feet away from him.
And by the way, it wasn't an ow as much as a ow.
Oh, that's an iconic moment.
Yeah. And so now whenever I get out the peanut butter cups,
Yeah, we all
I'm
duck.
always like, does anybody want a peanut butter cup?
No, we don't. No peanut
No.
butter cups.
So violent. Oh. Okay, this is my last one that I have written down. Okay, this is another Disneyland moment. Okay, so it was late at night. It was just us left in the park, I think. No, you weren't there, I don't think. But we were on the Dumbo ride, and it was so, like, magical at night. And then we, like, go by, and Mom's like, I think that's Selena Gomez.
It was.
And I still don't really believe you to this day, but I also do believe you.
Yeah, it was her. She was sitting there with her blanket on and she was watching her friend ride Dumbo. And then she had her tour guide next to her. Like, I know that it was her.
I think that was a good collection of iconic Stein moments. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Yeah,
Or your own favorite
comment
family
down
moment.
below your favorite Stein moment.
Yes.
Tell us your own favorite family moments.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Have a magical day.
Ring that bell. Make sure it's still recording.
Oh my gosh, it's not recording.
Oh,
Ah.
Gotta fall for it this time.